Hi, my name's Angelize and thank you for clicking on my first YouTube video on my new channel, Timeless.swoons. So this first video is a Booktube Newbie Tag. I really enjoy these videos as I believe they are the perfect way for a YouTuber to really show themselves and introduce themselves to their audience. And I really want you to get to know me, and hopefully we can eventually build a lovely community. So thank you for watching this video. So I have the questions for the Booktube Newbie Tag on my iPad, so if I'm looking down a lot, that's just because I'm reading the questions. So firstly, a bit about myself. I have been reading my entire life, ever since I was a kid, but I didn't really enjoy reading until I was a teenager, and I fell in love with the genre romance that really cemented my love of reading and book collecting as well. This passion for reading actually encouraged me to do a history and creative writing degree, where I learned more about the process of books and coming up with ideas and generally storytelling. And I fell in love with writing stories as well, and all of that sort of cemented my love of reading. The older I got, the more books I read in a year and the more I tried to explore other worlds. When I was branching out to different genres, it always led back to romance, and it really just cemented the fact that I really do love romance. And yeah, I think reading is basically my life. I'm very much known for being a book lover. My parents are constantly asking me when I will stop buying books or collecting books, and truly the answer is never. I think I'm literally that girl who carries a book with her everywhere she goes. I even buy bigger bags so that I can fit all the books I want, and it's really just, I genuinely just love reading. So the next question is, why did I start this channel? And honestly, I started this channel because of my sister. She's been telling me for the past year that she thinks I should start a YouTube channel and sort of put my opinions out there. And she isn't the first one to tell me this. I have been told several times that I should put my recommendations out there and really put my opinions out there on the books that I love. I'm actually an introverted person, so it doesn't come naturally to me to sort of put myself out there, but I really wanted to start sharing my recommendations for romance and my opinions, but also build a community as well. I don't actually have a lot of book lover friends, especially people who read romance as well, and so I would love to sort of make friends through this and build a community of romance readers, and we can all share our recommendations and what we love about a book, what we dislike about a book, and any books that we're really hyped about. Yeah, I think I really just want this channel to be sort of a safe space for romance readers and people who love the genre as much as I do. So the next question is, what can you bring to Booktube? Honestly, I think what I can bring to Booktube is my love of romance and my recommendations as well. I have been reading romance since I was 13, so that has... just trust me, it's a very long time. Next question is, what are you most excited about? And honestly, what I'm most excited about making this YouTube channel is actually just meeting new people. Like I said earlier in the video, I actually don't have a lot of romance book lovers as friends. Only a couple of people read romance as much as I do, so I'd love to meet new people and sort of build a community of romance readers. I'm also really excited about putting myself out there as well. Like I said, I'm naturally an introverted person, so this is sort of new to me. But I'm really excited about it and excited about doing something new, and I really feel like I'm going to have a lot of fun with this channel as well. So yeah, I think I'm excited about the new opportunity and a new hobby as well, and also meeting new people. So next question is, why do you love reading? And I think my love of reading comes from my love of sort of escapism, or anything that can provide an escape. With reading, you can explore new worlds, explore different characters, meet people that you may not meet in this life. And you may not meet in this life. And I really enjoy that. I really enjoy connecting with a character or seeing a character and thinking, I would never have made the decisions that you made in that book. And realizing that they're so different from you, and that's what you like about them. That's what I love about reading. You meet different personalities and you come up with different scenarios as well. With every book I read, I tend to think, I would never do that. Or, yep, I would do that. That's a smart move. And it also, with reading, you learn more about yourself as well. You learn what you like, what you dislike. I honestly believe that's one of my favorite things about romance, is the more I read romance novels, the more I'm like, what I want in my own romantic relationship versus what I don't want in my romantic relationships. And I think that's really important, just sort of understanding the difference and learning more about yourself. And I think that's the beauty of reading. With reading, you not only escape your reality, but you also learn more about yourself and what you want. And you can also learn about other people as well and other cultures and what their day-to-day life is. Honestly, I think what I love about reading is how much you can learn from it and how much it's an escape, but you're also learning, and how underrated it is as well. Not many people understand the beauty of a very good book, and I really hope that I can express that beauty that I get from reading to you. Okay, so the next question is something I've previously touched on, but it's, when did you start reading? As I mentioned, I started reading at a very young age. It's sort of a requirement in school, but I didn't actually fall in love with reading until I was 13 and I finally got to read romance genres. When I was younger, they kept on pushing fantasy and sci-fi, and coming of age stories were something that they really liked to shove down people's throats. And whilst I enjoy them now, when I was younger, I just didn't have any fascination in them whatsoever. But then I went to my secondary school and they had romance novels. And the moment I picked up my first romance novel, I knew, this is it. This is what's been missing. And I sort of dived off the cliff head first into romance genres, and I read as much as possible whenever I could. Got detention many times for reading in class. Don't regret it one bit. Even though I started reading from a very young age, I actually didn't fall in love with it until I was older. And I think that happens with a lot of people, or a lot of people that I know. I know my sister was the same, and some of my friends were the same. They haven't actually started to enjoy reading until now. So I think it's all about finding your genre and finding what you like in books as well. That's really important, because I know for a fact that if I read romance when I was a child, I would have fallen in love with reading a lot sooner. And it's interesting knowing what puts people off reading and what makes them fall in love with it, because I know for a fact that my friends fell in love with reading because they also fell in love with romances, in particular mafia romances. They fell in love with the whole idea of being in the mafia world and having this mafia boss fall in love with you, and they just, again, dived off the cliff head first into the romance genre. And I loved it because I just recommended so many books to them. So back to the original question of when did I start reading. Whilst I started reading at a young age, I didn't actually fall in love with it until I was older. So the next question is, what book or series got you into reading? So the book and series that actually got me into reading, I will not mention because the author is very problematic and she cannot keep her mouth shut. And she rhymes with trolling. So instead, I'm going to bring up the book series that got me into romance, which is Girls in Love by Jacqueline Wilson. I loved that series. I actually adored that series. I loved the romance in it and this girl navigating her first love and her first romantic relationship. But I also really enjoyed the friendship between the three girls. I loved that they were so close and they were so understanding towards each other, and that they always had each other's back. And I think that mixture of like romance and friendship is something that I still look for in my romance books to this day. That found family whilst also falling in love is just like top tier for me. So yeah, I think that's my first series that I really enjoyed and I really loved, and it really got me into romance. Okay, next question is, what challenges do you think starting a book channel will be? I think the biggest challenge I will face is I currently work a 9-to-5. Yes, I am part of the corporate machine. I'm not happy about it, but a girl's got to get paid, okay? And I have to balance my work life with my new channel and sort of branching out on social media overall. I think that will be the main challenge, but I actually am looking forward to that challenge as well. It just means I have to get better with my time management, which is something that I have been meaning to do for the past 10 plus years. So new year, new challenge. The final question to this video is, what books do you like to read? As I mentioned, I love romance books. That's my main genre, and that is what this channel will be focusing on. When it comes to subcategories in romance, or subgenres more like, yeah, when it comes to the subgenres in romance, I love historical fiction. I love historical romances. I adore them. That is very much my bread and butter. I have so many historical romances, in particular Regency era. I absolutely adore it. But I also love young adult, new adult, fantasy as well. I love a bit of fantasy mixed in with romance. Adore it. I love the world building and then finding a new love as well. Usually when there's a romance and a fantasy, there's enemies to lovers, which I adore. Love it. So those are sort of the books I like to read. So just to recap, main genre underneath romance is historical romance, but I also like new adult, young adult, and fantasy. But I do read a bit of everything. I tend not to shy away from any sort of genre. This year I'm trying to read a horror book for the first time, crossing fingers that it works out, but if it doesn't, I always have next year. I also wanted to add some of my favorite authors as well. I love Kennedy Ryan, love her books. Talia Hibbert, adore her books. I also love Julia Quinn, Stacey Reid. I adore Stacey Reid's writing. I think she is so good, and she writes smut so well. It's insane. Speaking of smut, Jessica Cain as well. When they write a novella, they write an erotic novella. They write an erotic novella. It's amazing. I can honestly talk for hours about how much I enjoy their writing and their novels, and in particular how Talia Hibbert has really inspired my own writing, and how much she writes the best romances. I can go on for hours about how Talia Hibbert has increased my standards for a partner to ridiculous heights. Those are my favorite authors, and I really love their books and series, but overall I tend to really branch out when it comes to any book underneath the romance genre. Okay, so that is it. That is my Booktube Newbie Tag. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you will stick around to see more content on this channel. I will try and post every Friday with a new video. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next Friday. Have a lovely day. Okay. Where was I?
Yo, don't put your iPad on the table, you drop the camera every time.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to stop the video.
No.
No.
Okay.
Nadine, delete that video. Nadine.
Edit this out.
Nadine, get up. video, delete this, and let me start again.
From the beginning?
Yes, no man.
Oh, I don't know how to delete all
Oh my god, if I could get a camera person to freaking, if mum was good with technology, you'd be gone.